Well, I was asked to come here tonight, and I was told to. I didn't know much either. They didn't want me to spill the beans. My father, they just said, "You're gonna roast him," and so I think I might have accidentally. I think I took roast the wrong way. I'm going to expose him. I told my students today a little bit about what I was going to say. They're the ones who informed me. You're supposed to roast, not expose, but here we go. Now, we're here to celebrate and recognize the career and contributions of my father, Reverend Dr. John Schlup. And he is impressive, and as you all know, he's been very impactful. If he hasn't impacted your life directly, he has certainly impacted all of your lives indirectly. You can't live in this region and not have felt the indirect impact of his life. But as we recognize him and his contributions, we cannot forget to recognize the contributions of my mother, Beth Varian Schlup.
That's my boy.
I've been watching for 36 years. So without her strength, her poise, her organizational skills, and her support of his career, we wouldn't be here today celebrating his career. Now, I want to take a minute to help you understand a little bit more of her role in his career, or in other words, what he has dragged her through since they met at Ohio State University. They got married in 1974. They were fresh out of college, back when people got married before their frontal lobe was completely developed. And he had enlisted, and they loaded up their, let me see if I'm reading this correctly. I've never heard of this until I asked my mother. American Motors Matador? That was a car? That sounds sweet. They drove across a continent 4,000 miles together a week after they got married. And in 1974, Canada was still gravel roads. So they drove across Canada on gravel roads in the American Matador. When they were in Vancouver, I just found out in the limousine today because I was like crying for some more information. They ran out of money. Apparently, the Army didn't have Venmo back then, and they couldn't get any money just on their cell phone. I don't know. So they arrived to Anchorage, Alaska. And when they arrived to Anchorage, Alaska, they're told, well, you're actually in the wrong place. You've been reassigned to Fairbanks. And so they had to get back in their car after, 80 hours of driving? It must have been a long time on the gravel roads in the Matador. And they had to go to Fairbanks, another 400 miles, another 8 hours. They got to Fairbanks at 3 in the morning. This is how their marriage started. Now the rest of this, in the other, during the prayer, you kind of stole my. I was going to say, I don't know if the rest of this is true, but the story is true. I was going to steal the line, but you got me, beat me to it. But so in Alaska for 2 years. As you've heard in the sermons, my dad's sliding around glaciers, climbing Denali, floating down the Yukon, playing war games, having the time of his life. Meanwhile, my mother was back at her house in Fairbanks, holding down the fort, spending many long, dark, winter Alaskan nights gazing at the starry sky, longing for her husband to return home and hold her in his skinny, boyish arms. He was not this beast that you see here today. You see the wedding photo? You thought, is this a child? The wedding? But throughout that, she remained very strong, poised, and supportive. Now, after my mom's 2-year sentence as a single wife in Alaska, the students didn't get that one today. I thought so. They moved to the Washington, D.C. area, and in his career, his military career was really, it looked like it was taking off the way I hear it. I mean, it seemed like a guy with this talent, this intelligence, and this wife, they could really go through the roof of the American military system, and things were looking good. But one day he's driving down the road and he sees one of those generic, yours isn't generic, but the marquee in front of the church. And it has this sign. And I don't remember what you told me it said in the sign, but a marquee in front of a church inspired him to quit this path in the military and become a minister. So guess what, honey? We're going to move to Western Ohio to go to seminary school. At this point, they have my older brother. I was born in Western Ohio. That's all I really know about Western Ohio because it's Western Ohio. But my mother remained strong, poised, and supportive. And then they moved to East Palestine, Ohio, by the Pennsylvania border, and I start having my first memories. We're in a parsonage house. It's attached to church. For a child, having a house that's attached to a church is amazing. Because you get the best hide-and-seek games you could have ever had. Climb under the pews, climb all over the place. But to a mother with, now she's got a third child, my sister, and you know, it's kind of weird when a stranger can walk into a church, walk through an office, and end up in your house. And my mother tells me a story. She's nursing my sister. I might have made up the nursing. A random guy walks in the house on the street. Can I help you? I don't know. I'm just walking into your house. But during that, she remained strong, poised, and supportive. She kept going. So then they moved to Cuyahoga Falls, and that helps us get a little bit closer to here. It's 1984. You got a 6-year-old-ish, 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old. And he takes a job as the youth pastor at the United Methodist Church in Cuyahoga Falls. He's doing great. People love him. He's really making an impact in Cuyahoga Falls and in the Methodist Church in general, and the people in the Methodist Church notice this, and they want to give him a promotion. It's kind of like the military situation, and again, just like that situation, he decides to quit. I don't want your promotion. I want hardship, just like Jesus.
I know this story.
Well, and I don't know exactly how the timeline works, but at some point he started working on his doctorate in ministry without a job. Now he wants to start a business, you know, I want to be a family therapist. And at this point, my mom is committed. I'm not so sure about the poised, strong. She remains. Thank you, mother. My mother started working again. She was working in retail, the food industry. She went back to school, renewed her teacher's license. She got a job at Ravenna teaching family and consumer sciences. Back then they called it home ec. Don't ever say that to her.
Home ec.
And then Kent Roosevelt High School. And meanwhile, the doctorate thing works out. He actually got it. And he started teaching at Kent State University, and then he started a relationship with the First Congregational Church of Talmadge. And then eventually, you guys hired him and saved the marriage. Thank you. I'm fairly certain. Seriously. Now, something's been striking me lately at church.
He's pretty good, isn't he?
I call him Dad. His granddaughter, this is my daughter Anna. His granddaughter call him Buddy, and he has 2 other grandchildren. Call him Buddy. You guys call him not Dr. Schloop. You call him Dr. John. You know there's another Dr. John, right? Every single time, I'm a big music fan. If you're into like cool music, then you know Dr. John.
Cool music.
Every time you say Dr. John, I can't help but think of Malcolm John Rebenek, a.k.a. Dr. John from New Orleans. Now, you might not know Dr. John by his name, the musician, but he sings a song called Right Place, Wrong Time. You know that? I've been at the right place, but I must have been the wrong time. I must have said the right thing, but I must have used the wrong line. Now, this song is kind of fitting for your Dr. John, but it's only halfway fitting. It's only halfway fitting. If you know him, if you've spent time with him, you know that the song is only half right because he seems to always be in the right place at the right time. he seems to be able to say the right thing and use the right line. I mean, whether he's held one of your children before the congregation during baptism and had to crack a joke, or stood with you as you vowed to spend your life with another. If he's sat next to you in a hospital room and comforted you, or counseled you after the loss of a loved one, or he sat with you in a healing circle, you know that he seems to be in many places right when you need him. And he has the right thing to say and the right thing to not say. While he's doing this, he's improving our community. And by improving our community, he's improving the world, which takes me back to Dr. John the musician. Dr. John the musician has a little bit lesser known song that I love. It's called Let's Make a Better World. And the lyrics go, I'm not going to sing this one. But the lyrics are special. He says, you got to live and give, share and care. Really put some love in the air. When your neighbor's down, try to pick them up. Nobody can live in despair. Society has no priority. We're all part of a whole. When people scream and shout, you have to hear them out. Everybody is a beautiful soul. Reverend Dr. John Schloop's life work has been to make a better world by picking up a neighbor when he or she is down. Having no priority other than being a part of a whole. And knowing that everybody is a beautiful soul. That's how he lives, and that's what he has been trying to teach us for all these years.